Ladies and gentlemen, the girls, Ibeyi, the twins. This Project Ash, which is for pre-order right now on Apple Music, it comes out September 29th. Why Ash? Why that is the title?
Because it's the first song we record, and it's the last song we have in the album.
And also we feel like it opened the way for all the energy of the album. Ashes can fertilize. Ashes can become something. Ashes can turn into life. So there's a really positivity in this word. That's why I think we called the album Ash.
When we talked in Paris, you were we walked through a cemetery near where you guys grew up, and when I heard the album was entitled Ash, that's what I immediately kind of tied it to. Was you guys explaining to me how you guys found cemeteries beautiful, and you found death beautiful, which is opposite of many people, because of their selfish worldliness that they kind of exist in, where they feel like something's being taken from them. So death is something that they are afraid of.
We are aware that it hurts, but then you have to realize that in a way, people live because they had to live. They live because they finished their mission here. And there's something about that is beautiful. And there's something about the memories you have with that person that is beautiful. There's even something about the moment you won't have with that person that is beautiful.
Because you know that you loved him. That's when you feel alive.
Lately, I've been thinking, the day I will have a baby, my father will not be here. But yeah, I'm sure he will though. And there's something about that also that is beautiful. And about that nostalgia, about feeling the need to see him, feeling the need to feel him. That means that, they will love, definitely. And the whole point is remembering them with joy, with music, with songs, with dancing, with everything.
And that's how you keep people alive.
Yeah. And that's how you keep yourself alive.
That's right. How'd the lyrics go again?
We can feel something's wrong.
Can we keep going on? We are ashes, moving around.
No more heart,
no more home, and keep walking along. We are ashes moving around.
And my favorite part, we can see
through the walls, through the ceilings and floors.
We are ashes moving around.
You guys just dropped Me Voy.
Yeah.
Yo, that's fire. And you guys don't make a lot of music in Spanish.
No.
It's the first one.
Is it the first?
Yeah.
I mean, we wrote some other songs, but the first one that is in the public eye.
Your heritage is Cuban. You grew up in Paris, so you're Parisian also. You're black and you're white and you're Parisian and you're Cuban and you speak Spanish. Like, you guys are the world right there.
Yeah, but you have to find your sound with the language. And we didn't find our sound before in Spanish.
Tell me what that means. We have to find your sound.
It has to sound like Ibeyi. And the songs we were writing sounded like a Spanish song, but not like Ibeyi. And so for us, that was not good enough. It had to sound like Ibeyi. And that's why we're still working on the French songs, because they don't sound like Ibeyi either. And for us, that was the main thing. It should sound like us. I
mean, I can hear it. Like, I know the enchantment of the music and the culture in the music and the drums and the
voices.
The voice, the chants and the voices. Like, I know. Am I describing it right?
Yeah.
It's not just like a Spanish song. It's an Ibeyi song because there's the voices. There's the backing vocals. You know when it's an Ibeyi song when you hear those backing vocals.
And also I noticed that when you guys do shows, that those backing vocals are kind of what brings the audience in the sing-along, because the whole place is singing all of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what is amazing. And actually, that's why we wrote this new album. We wrote it for the stage. I mean, every song is written hearing an audience sing.
Me voy means we go. Is that right?
Me voy is I'm going.
I'm
leaving.
I'm leaving.
It can be physical, but it also can be like mental. I'm going.
So where are you going?
Nowhere. Who knows?
But everywhere at the same time.
It's a really sensual song. It's funny because when we talked with La Mala Rodriguez, who is featured in this song, she told me, I love it. I love the fact that you wrote a song about orgasm. And I never thought about that. Like, everybody has a different interpretation, and that's what is so cool.
Who is she? I never heard her name before.
She's
a star. She's one of the biggest rappers all time.
Really?
My God,
I'm super late.
And she's really sensual and
she
sexual.
writes.
Yeah, she put y'all on that y'all was talking about orgasms. Y'all didn't even know y'all was talking about orgasms. Mala out here putting in work, man. We appreciate you, Mala. Let's get to this snippet right here. Transmission featuring Michelle Ndegeocello. How was it working with Michelle Ndegeocello? Because I've been a fan since her first album.
Well, we're fans since we were born. we went to see her play. I don't know how many times. Like she's
amazing on that bass, boy. She's not playing.
The voice.
The voice too.
She's one of our goddess. She knows us from, you know, her shows and shit, but we wanted her to be in this album, and she's in the track Transmission. So it's really powerful for us. And we're super proud to have her.
Yeah. And the fact that she would be in the song Transmission when we feel like she transmitted so much to us through her albums. So, yeah.
And the word transmission, as you guys use it, you're not talking about the transmission in my car, because I know a little bit about transmissions in cars. You guys are talking about, what do you guys, I'm just serious. I'm being serious right now. I'm not playing around. What are you talking about?
We're talking about every type of transmission from a human to another.
From love.
Of emotion.
From nature to you, of love, of emotion, of truth, of knowledge, of joy, compassion. Everything that links us, basically. We feel like in this world, we are now more looking at what divides us than what links us. Even between friends, we're like, oh, I don't like her shoes. Oh, this is weird. Oh, she comes from this city, I come from this. Instead of being like, but I like her eyes, or I like her, I don't know, whatever.
Right. Transmitting positivity.
Yes.
Instead of transmitting negativity. No man is big enough for my arms.
Yeah.
Who is this about? What's this about?
No man is big enough for my arms. It's from a book called Widow Basquiat that we were reading while we were in the studio. And I was reading that woman called Suzanne, when she was 7, a man came to see her and he said, oh my God, one day I'll come back and I'll marry you. And at 7-year-old, she looked at him and she said, no man is big enough for my arms. And just my jaw dropped. My jaw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I had said that right. Dropped, because I thought it was so incredible. And coming from a young girl, even more incredible. Even if we are, I think, strong and young, independent women, it still touched me. So I went the next day to the studio and I said, look. And Ami was like, oh. And then I said, look, Richard. And he was like, oh, that's a song. And I was like, yeah, that's a song. So we started writing the song. And it's called No Man is Big Enough for My Arms. And then we wanted a sample of a woman talking to women. And at that time, there was this beautiful speech by Michelle Obama. She said, did that amazing speech where she says, the measure of any society is how they treat their women and girls. And she said things that were so beautiful and almost poetic, like your story is my story. And we sampled it. And from the wanting of sampling just this, we sampled this. And it became almost a featuring in the song. And then we were like,
now we have to
need to like clear that sample. And we're like, oh my God, how are we going to do it? And we did it.
Yeah. Ibeyi featuring Michelle Obama. Let's get to Deathless.
Yeah.
Which is about defying death, yes?
Yeah.
Without death?
Immortality.
Yes.
We're beyond.
We're powerful. We are all powerful. We are all deathless. We are
human beings. And also the thing is, there's this girl. I'm so sorry, by the way, if she listens to me. I'm so sorry I forgot her name, because when I read that comment, I really loved it. And I don't know if she wrote it or if it's from another author or whatever, but it's beautiful. She wrote, as a description of Deathless, she wrote, that song is, they buried us, but they didn't know we were seeds.
That's hard.
That is amazing. I mean, that's a song. Might do a song about that. But it's exactly, Deathless is exactly that. There's no end. There's no end of us. We are deathless. Deathless is a song you listen to, and for 3 minutes you believe you're deathless. It's not just to say it. It's not cute. It's not, I am death. No.
Yeah, and when we are going to be on stage and everybody's going to sing the same thing, if, everybody from different black, white, short, tall, everybody in the same room.
Just imagine a crowd of 1,000 people screaming, we are deathless at the same time.
I really felt like this was
it's an anthem.
It was a defiant anthem.
Yeah, it's our anthem.
Of people who are not afraid.
The song started because I was arrested by the police. Because
she.
Yeah, me.
You was out here wilding in the streets? I need this story.
At 16.
Yo, what was going on, Lisa?
Well, I had an overall and an afro. And that meant apparently for that guy that I was selling crack. I don't know. He just stopped me and I was 16, but I looked already like that. So I didn't look 16 to be fair, but he stopped me and took my bag and shook my bag
shoes,
out. Yeah, made me take my shoes off and my socks off. And then he said, "Do you drink?" And I was like, "No." "Do you smoke?" And I was like, "No." "Do you take drugs?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Are you kidding me?" Like, no.
And this was where?
All of this
in
was
Paris?
true, by the way.
Yeah,
in Paris. And then he shook my bag off. And when he saw that I had a big book, and when he saw that I had a partition of Chopin, he was like, "She might not be stupid." So he took my bag, just my empty bag, gave me my empty bag and left.
And left your stuff on the ground.
I left my.
She was barefoot. She was barefoot in the metro and subway.
No, but the worst thing is not that though. The worst thing is not him. He's a head. But sorry, can I say that?
It happened.
Oh yeah.
It's done. Lisa cussed.
Of course.
We got it. We got all of it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we worked on it. Yeah.
No,
But appropriate.
She
It was
can't
appropriate.
say. She can't say worse than that.
We'll get to that in another interview.
but yeah, he was an ass. But the worst were there were people around and no one moved. No one moved.
That's the worst thing.
Even when I was on the floor putting my things in my
Nobody
bag,
helped you.
no one moved. And that's the thing when I say we feel powerless. Because those are the people I'm talking about. Because those are me too. There's things happening that I can see sometimes. And I'm not doing anything. Well, I mean, now I believe that I would do something. But at that time, I would not have done anything either. But that's wrong. And that's why we feel powerless. We can do something. Someone doing something at that moment would have changed the story. I might have never wrote Deathless. Because I would have felt that it was, okay, no, there's something right about the world. This asshole did that, but someone nice came and helped me. But it doesn't work like that, see? So, yeah, it started like that. It started with this story. And then it ended up being an anthem and it just being the song you listen to before something important in your life. The song you listen to before going to, like, the school you want to get in before the fight. And just listen to it and believe in it for 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't really go back and forth in your comments with people too much on social media. You guys kind of just post and then go on about your business.
Yeah. The only thing we've been like discussing with people now is the auto-tune issue.
What's the auto-tune issue?
It's become an issue, guys.
Because they hate auto-tune. Why auto-tune?
Why you guys?
Such beautiful voices.
There's auto-tune where there's literally a computer making sure someone's in tune. And then there's processing or effects, which is not auto-tune.
The one we use. Yeah. I don't know why it's a bad thing. If you don't play any instrument, but then you find software and you get to be you get to play this instrument, then you become a musician. For me, all of those things are just part of things that will make you better and
tools.
Having more fun and express yourself better. So yeah, we never even thought about that.
No, and there's also people who says they're using autotune because they want to be your crowd.
Oh, you want to be like more mainstream or something. Well, here's the thing that you do have to, as an artist, as you guys get bigger and bigger and bigger, you have a very passionate fan base.
Yeah.
And people have been with you since the moment. It's their expression of love in a way that's like, don't leave us.
They're worried.
Yes, don't leave us. Like, you don't, where you don't leave us. And because I think inherently a lot of cultural music, whether it's hip hop, country music, whatever it is that you're in a genre, people have grown accustomed to artists like abandoning them or leaving their fan base.
But the thing is, they like Ibeyi because we were not, or pop music, or soul music, or Yoruba music, African music, or electronic music, or hip hop. We are trying to, figure out what we are, and we are mixing all of those things. So in order to continue doing that, we have to experience and experiment.
Yes.
We can't be who they like us to be without doing that.
That's what I get from you guys too. Because you speak Spanish, you speak French, you make music in English, you incorporate Caribbean sounds, which are technically African sounds, hip hop sounds, which all come from that as well, the same root, right? So you incorporate all these music sounds that are interrelated So in some ways, you're everything. So by being everything, you're almost genreless in a way.
Yeah.
We don't like people to say, oh, you're like a hip hop artist or you're a pop artist. For the first album, they were like asking us all the time, you think your music is what?
Because they
like,
didn't know where to put us.
Yeah. We don't know. And we're like, well, listen to it and you will see.